campus of Paul Quinn College and to be greeted by all of you today. And of course, I'm so thankful to Chris and to Cynthia, who were willing to come out in a very personal way, put a face on the issues that we're talking about as part of this campaign. I'm especially proud to have been joined today by Senator West, my colleague with a booming voice. My colleague with that beautiful booming voice of his. When I was first elected to the Texas Senate and I was assigned my seat on the Senate floor, I sat right in front of Senator West. And not long after I sat down, on that very first day when I was about to be sworn in, Senator West said to me, "Hey, Wendy." And I said, "Yes?" "I got your back." And he's had my back, and I've had his, and we've had each other for the 6 years that I've had the privilege of serving in that incredible body. And I am so proud to be joined by men and women like him who are committed to doing what Texans elected us to do, serve their interest above the special interest every single day that we are in the halls of that. I want you to know that as I've been on the trail, with every event that I've held, every smile, every hug that I receive from you, I feel more humbled, more connected, more appreciative of the fact that I got to grow up in this incredible state with the spirit of the people who are Texans, and each of you embodies that. And I think that you come out to events like this because, like me, you believe that every child deserves a quality education. You believe, like me, that hard-working Texans and their families deserve a fair shot. I think you come out because, like me, you believe that if you work hard, where you start in life should not determine how far you can go. I know you believe, like me, that a little sweat can move mountains, that a little girl can summon and make her dreams come true, that whether you are young, old, purple, blue, or red, you deserve to have someone who is fighting for you. And I couldn't have said it better than Cynthia and Chris said. Greg Abbott is just not that fighter, and he's shown it time and time and time again. And I want to make sure that every Texan has the opportunity to understand that he is the wrong choice for governor. And he would be the wrong choice even if I weren't running. Lately, he's been saying anything to avoid responsibility for his role on the oversight board of the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, when his donors received $42 million in taxpayer funds, much of which happened with little or no oversight. But these are the facts. He is our Attorney General. He was on the oversight board, put there specifically to be the watchdog of what was happening with the enormous funds that were flowing through the decision-making of that board. And under his watch, he allowed our Cancer Institute to become a piggy bank for his donors. Under his watch, his donors siphoned off millions and millions of tax dollars from cancer patients and from you. CBRIT was supposed to be a beacon of hope for cancer patients and their families who've suffered through so much. Nobel laureates proudly came to Texas to be a part of the work of this incredible institute, to try to bring a cure to this disease. People went there looking for help, praying for a cure, but what they got instead was swindled. Because of what happened under Greg Abbott's watch, not only were tens of millions of tax dollars given to political donors without oversight, But the promise of this institute was diminished so much that several of those Nobel laureates who so proudly had joined the work of that institute resigned in disgust. Under Abbott's watch, the Travis County DA conducted an investigation, issued an indictment, and is involved in an ongoing prosecution. Under Greg Abbott's watch, hard-working and hopeful men and women might not have gotten the cure that they needed and that they relied on those dollars to help bring. Because when Greg Abbott served on the oversight board of our state's Cancer Research and Prevention Institute of Texas, he wasn't looking out for cancer patients. He was looking out for his political donors. On so many days, while I was counting tips, when I was a young single mom, I remember standing at the gas pump and pumping out $4.58 worth of gas because all I had in my purse was $4.58. And I wondered back then if there was just one politician who gave a damn about people like me, people who know what it's like to struggle, to raise a child on their own, to work 2 jobs and to come home from a second job only to find that their power has been turned off because they can't pay the bill. People who face long odds and hard decisions, but they keep fighting because they'll do anything they can to create a better life for themselves and their families. I am listening to your stories, to stories of people all over this great state, and I've worked to make the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute accountable and transparent because taxpayers deserve that, because cancer patients and their families who are relying on the work of that institute deserve that. I authored Senate Bill 386 to hold grant recipients accountable to their grant agreements, to make the Institute comply with grant review processes, and to remove Attorney General Greg Abbott from the Oversight Committee. And then I helped pass Senate Bill 895, which finally held the Institute accountable to Texas transparency laws, because what happened with the Institute should not have happened, period. And it's going to take all of us to make sure that it doesn't happen again. It's going to take making some phone calls and knocking on some doors. It's going to take having one-on-one conversations that remind us of our shared values and that remind each of us what's at stake in this election on November the 4th. I've been on the trail for many months now, and so often when I'm talking with people in communities across the state, I am greeted with tears. And the tears that I see are not tears of defeat that people are crying. Instead, they're tears of realization that their voices truly can matter. What we saw in the Capitol on June 25th of last year told us that the voices of the people of Texas, when they come together and when they demand to be heard, they truly can have an impact on the decisions that are being made in this state. And I'm so pleased to have played a role in helping people to realize the strength of their own voices. People are telling me now that they feel like they had a chance on that evening, and they know they have a chance in the future to get the upper hand on political insiders who have not cared for them or their issues or their voices for a very, very long time. People who think they can buy elections like they're 2-for-1s at the grocery store. These folks that I'm speaking to all over this state know that their voices, as much as any elected person in that Capitol, are powerful and can and should matter. So when I'm speaking to people and I see those tears and I see that emotion, I know it's not coming from a place of defeat. I know it's coming from a realization of power. And that realization, my friends, is the factor, the most important factor that is going to lead us to making an incredible change in this state on November the 4th. So many of you have already lent your volunteer time, your energy, your dollars, your voices to what is going on in this election. And I am so humbled and so thankful for every amount of energy that you have been willing to expend to make a difference in your state. I want you to continue to make your voices heard. You can go to wendydavistexas.com/join if you're looking for a way to volunteer on the campaign. You can take your phone out right now and text Team Wendy to 97779. You can speak out by sending me your stories. One of the most powerful experiences in my elected life was that day on the Senate floor when I had the privilege of reading the stories of so many Texans. And we have a place that you can send those to, mytexasstory.com, and I promise you that I will give voice to them as part of this election. You can tweet, you can post on Facebook. I personally am using the hashtag fight and the number 4 all Texans. Fight for all Texans. That's our. So no matter if you want to do a little or a lot, no matter if you want to go out and knock on doors, no matter if you want to go into one of our many headquarters across the state, or if you just want to stay home and make some phone calls or get on your computer and talk to people on social media, every moment of energy that you contribute to this race is going to help make a difference. I'm so pleased that you've been willing to get involved, that you've been willing to stand beside me, because each of you out there, every single person standing on Texas dirt, every single person who is serving our country from nation to nation, shore to shore, they and you deserve a leader who is going to fight for you regardless of how much you've got in your pocketbook, no matter your age, no matter your race, no matter your gender. Someone who's going to fight for you every single moment. You deserve a governor who will reduce class sizes instead of going to court to keep them crowded, who'll get more qualified teachers into our classrooms, not less. Someone who understands that every child deserves a 21st century education, but they deserve to be prepared for the jobs of tomorrow, that they deserve to compete not just against kids in California or New York, but against those in China and India. We deserve a governor who will build a 21st century economy, who will employ new technologies, who will bring good paying jobs right here to Texas so that families can put food on the table, tennis shoes on their kids' feet, and more than $4.58 in their truck's gas tank. Texas, it is time for pushing policies that favor political donors at the expense of hardworking Texans to go away. It is time for paying somebody who's not even working for you to go away. It is time for not holding back hardworking Texans any longer. And I'm telling you today that I will lead us toward an economy built for the jobs of tomorrow. I'll give our kids a 21st century education today. And I'm telling you that I will wake up every day and carry your voices with me. When I was elected to serve my local community on the Fort Worth City Council in 1999, I swore an oath as I raised my hand to uphold the principles of our own city's charter, the constitutional values of this state and of this country. And I said those words out loud. But in my mind, what I said to myself on that day was that no matter how hard a vote might be in my future, I was never going to compromise my values or the values of the people who gave me the honor and the privilege of serving them. And I can promise you this. After 15 years in public service, I can proudly tell you that I upheld that promise to myself. I upheld it to the people who elected me to serve them. And if I have the privilege and the honor, with your help, of being elected to serve as the governor of this great state, when I raise my hand and take that oath, I will remind myself of that solemn promise, and I will keep it to you every single day that I have the privilege of working for you in that capital. Just leave you with these words. If that does happen, if we do on November the 5th celebrate a joyous victory, I want you to know this: I've got your back.